students, good morning to you. Today we will start a new chapter, that is chapter 4 of class 11, Animal Kingdom. In our last class we have completed chapter 3, Plant Kingdom, and here we will see how animals are classified into different phylums. So what are the criteria behind to divide the animal kingdom into different phylums? So let's see. First I will give you some introduction about kingdom animal. If you saw around your surrounding, then you will saw different type of animals. Some are very small, some are middle size, some are very large like elephants. So simply you see insects, birds, reptiles, amphibians, mammals including humans, dog, cat, etc. Their body structure and body size is different regarding to the number of cells they possess in their body or their body made up of. So here the animals classified basically regarding these criteria, and the criteria or the basis of classification of animal kingdom is level of organization. Second criteria is symmetry. Third is diploblastic or triploblastic organization. Fourth is coelom. Fifth, segmentation, and sixth, notochord. So first let's understand about levels of organization. Here we will start our chapter, or in animal kingdom we will start from the phylum Polyptera, as it has tissue level of organization, means cellular level. As we know, cells constitute to make a tissue. Simply we can say cellular level of organization, as all the animals, they are multicellular, are kept in the kingdom Animalia. So here the levels of organization is defined as how the organism's body is made up of. Is it made up of cells, tissues, tissue system, organs, or organ system? So if the organism's body is made up of cells, then this is called cellular level of organization. If it is made up of tissues, then it is called tissue level of organization. If it is made up of organs, then it is called organ level of organization. If it is made up of organ, then it constitutes a system, and that is called organ system level of organization. So let's see which organisms are made up of which system of organization. Are they made up of cells, tissues, organs, or organ systems? So here we can see some examples like your Porifera, in which sponge is come. Sponge shows cellular level of organization. So like this, as we move to higher organisms, human beings like us, our body is made up of organ system level of organization, and each organ has a particular function, and the organ is again made up of tissues, and each tissue has already a type of or a particular type of function. So this is your level of organization. So we can say that cellular, tissue system, organ, or organ system. So on this basis, there are some more characters which we need to classify the organisms, like their reproductive structure, their digestive system, their circulatory system. So digestive system is of two types. One is complete, one is incomplete. So first we see what is incomplete digestive system. If the organism has only a single opening for both taking food and for releasing the waste material, means one opening acts as both for taking food and as anus, that is called incomplete digestive system. If the organism has an opening to take food and release to the waste food, is called complete digestive system, means the system in which both a mouth and an anus is present, that is complete. So we can say that a complete digestive system consists of two openings, whereas an incomplete digestive system contains only single opening. Next is circulation. As we know, blood is circulated all along the body in living organisms or living animals. So here circulation is also of two types. One is open type and another is closed type. open type and closed type. In open type, simply heart pumps the blood and the organs that present near that part get bathed in that blood. But in case of closed type, there are a particular blood vessels are present, like your arteries, veins and blood capillaries collect the blood and transport to different parts of the body. So this is come under level of organization. Next is symmetry. Symmetry means how the body is divided. Here we will study about three different types of symmetry. One is radial symmetry, another is bilateral symmetry, and another is asymmetry. As you know, A means not in biology, so asymmetry means not symmetry. The species whose body can't be divided into two parts is called asymmetry, and the organisms whose body is divided into two parts is called symmetry. So the symmetry is, again I have told you that one is radial and another is bilateral. One is radial and another is bilateral. In radial symmetry, if we cut the organism from any plane like this, then it divides into two equal halves. If we cut the organism from any plane like this, then it gives equal parts. But in case of bilateral symmetrical, if we cut the pieces, then it gives us left and right. This is right and this is left. So this type of symmetry is called bilateral, and this type of symmetry is called radial. So here we see that the animals are also categorized on the basis of symmetry. So one is radial symmetry, this is radial symmetry, and this is bilateral symmetry. In bilateral, the organism is divided into as right and left. So next is diploblastic and triploblastic. Here, when an embryo is formed inside the mother's body, the germinal layers start forming, or formation of germinal layer occurs. So when the organism has two germinal layers, that is called diploblastic. And if the organism has three germinal layers, that is called triploblastic. So the two germinal layers are ectoderm, which is the outer layer. Derma means skin, ecto means out, outer layer, and endoderm, that is an inner layer. Endoderm, inner layer. So here the organism is called diploblastic, means it has two germinal layers. One is ectoderm and another is endoderm. But in case of triploblastic animals, they possess three germinal layers: ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. The mesoderm is found between the ectoderm and endoderm. Suppose this is a cavity, so you can see this layer is called ecto, this layer is called endo, and the middle layer is called meso. Mesoderm or mesoglia. We can say it as ectoderm, outer layer, mesoderm, middle layer, and endoderm, inner layer. So in this basis also, the animal kingdom is divided into different phylums. Next is coelom. Coelom means cavity. Coelom means cavity. Either the organism is acoelomate or pseudocoelomate. As we know, A means not. If the organism has no coelom or no body cavity, then it is called acoelomate. If it has false cavity, pseudo means false. If it has false cavity, then it is called pseudocoelomate. And coelomate means true coelom, having true coelom. So on the basis of coelom means acoelom, either the organism possesses coelomic body, acoelomic or pseudocoelomic, means whether it has a cavity. Coelom means cavity, a cavity is present or not. If present, whether it is true cavity or false cavity. This is also a criteria to divide the animal kingdom into different phylums. Next is segmentation. As we, if we consider about earthworm, then we see many segments are found on the body of earthworm. So these segments are called as metamerically segmented. Metamerically segmented means there are lines are formed on the body of the organism. If we cut from this line, they form a ring-like structure. So this type of arrangement is called metamerically segmented. So segmentation is seen in annelids and arthropods as their body is differentiated into different segments. Next is notochord. Notochord is a characteristic feature of all chordates. This is a solid hollow structure found in the dorsal side of the organism. If the organism has notochord, then it is considered as chordata. If not, then it is considered as non-chordata. So, for today, this is all about your introduction of animal kingdom. In the next class, we will study about phylum Porifera.